Hello, it's Rhea. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, I hope you are enjoying yourself. So today we have some new items that we will be working with, and one of them is these cute little rainbow pencils. That's actually going to be the highlight of this video because I'll be drawing solely with them. And the second thing is that I am drawing in a sketchbook that I haven't really shown before. And real quick with these rainbow pencils, as you can see with how I color, depending on where I'm angling the pencil, that's where different shades will come out. And that's pretty much the feature that makes this pencil so like fascinating and fun to play with and draw with. As for the sketchbook, I've had this for quite some time. I just don't really use it a ton because it's kind of like a background sketchbook due to its smaller size. And I think I also got it around the time when I was still working in many other sketchbooks. And I think it's funny because I keep telling myself like, okay, I'm gonna not work in multiple sketchbooks. We're just gonna work on one so I can finish it and they can like be finished at a regular quote-unquote pace. If you saw my last video, whenever I was reviewing one of my older sketchbooks, I was talking about how my ideal pace for one, like finishing a sketchbook, is around about 6 months, depending on like the size and how many pages there are. I feel like 6 months is like a good, you know, it's like, I feel like by then, as long as I'm not extremely busy or in a bad headspace or something, honestly, if I could get it done within like a season, like a quarter of the year or something, or like, yeah, 3 to 4 months, I feel like that'd be a pretty good spot to be in. So yeah, I'd say 3 to 6 months is like my goal for most sketchbooks. But for this one, since it's like a background one and I am kind of using it the way that I use my quote-unquote throwaway sketchbooks, I've got to come up with a new name for them because I feel like throwaway sounds a little bit like sad. It's not like I necessarily throw them away, it's more like I guess they're hidden because the whole point is that it's not a sketchbook that I'm showing anyone. It's like I can just draw in it without any feeling of pressure, without any need to like explain anything or show anything, or basically to have it look in an aesthetic way. It's kind of just me doodling and whatever comes out comes out. But it's really good to have those because you can, without that pressure of you feeling like things need to look perfect, you can draw how you're supposed to like actually draw as an artist. You don't have to worry about like how things look because that's something really important. I feel like nowadays, especially with social media, we sort of have this mentality that whatever we post needs to look like as good as possible and that everything else should not be in the spotlight. And I guess by having like a throwaway sketchbook, that is kind of what I'm abiding to in a way, but at least like I'm still willing to draw even if it looks bad, because I feel like some people will draw and then be discouraged because their art doesn't look the way that they want, when in reality, like, that's the only way for you to get better, really. So, you know, you're still on track, you're still doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's fine for it to look awful, because it's only temporary, and that's how you grow. So I feel like having some kind of sketchbook or some unseen place for you to store your drawings in, or even just your ideas or your thoughts, it really makes a difference in how you have a relationship with art. Also, you might have noticed by now that I am indeed drawing in real time, and I will keep that up for most of like this first page, but later on I am going to speed it up. But let me know if it's like, I guess, how you feel about that, if you're okay with like if you would prefer it to be more real time, and just sort of cutting it up into chunks so I can keep all the content in there but still have it real time as opposed to sped up, because I actually end up doing 2 spreads, and that's mostly because whenever I get to the bottom of this page, the cute little drawing that I do is like cut off, or like I lost the footage for it because basically my camera will you know, run out of battery at some point, right? But usually I try to catch it and replace the battery before it just goes out, because if it goes out while it's filming, I will just completely lose all of that footage. And I've been doing quite well ever since I found out like that was the cause of me losing footage in the past. But like, I don't know, it just really got me this time. I wasn't looking up enough, and so I had cut out and I was so devastated, but I'll explain like where it cuts off. For right now we're good. I'm just drawing like, I didn't explain what I was drawing, oh my gosh. I'm just, well, it's kind of like freestyle drawing, I guess. I'm just drawing like whatever really came to my mind at the time. To go back to the whole throwaway sketchbook or hidden sketchbook concept, I actually like one of the things that I try to do in a sketchbook like that is experiment a lot, because I'm not worried about making it pretty, so I just want to try out a bunch of stuff and sort of see like what happens, you know, again, stuff you should probably be doing in your actual sketchbook without feeling like you need to apologize for it, because that's just how it is. Anyways, yeah, so it was because I experimented with using these colored pencils first that I felt like, oh, you know what, it'd be kind of cute to like do a spread of this in like a sketchbook or something. And I believe I've even used them in a video before. It was whenever I was trying out museum supplies. Yes, oh my gosh, okay. Basically, I had just come back from New York for the first time, and I went to the Met and the MoMA, and at the time I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go crazy, let's buy all the souvenirs. So I bought like a lot of the art supplies that they have, because obviously if it's an art museum, I'm assuming they're gonna have some kind of like trinkets and supplies to appeal to artists. So I was like, oh cute, look at these nifty little colorful pencils. And so yeah, I got a couple and here we are. But yeah, I used them just briefly in that video, but I wanted to do a full spread because after experimenting with how they could look, I just really enjoyed I guess the whimsy of them, to be honest. I was like, I feel like this is something that I should make a whole spread of. And really and truly, I felt like this is something that I thought of doing for a couple of years now, mostly because it's June and that's obviously Pride Month. So I was like, isn't it funny? Rainbow pencils, happy Pride. Even though I feel like the whole rainbow thing is a little bit like, I don't know, I feel like it's cute whenever it's like self-imposed from the LGBT community, but like whenever I see like the companies and stuff bust out, like that's the only thing that they do. They just like shoot rainbow confetti in the air. They're like, okay, there you go, be happy. Now you have every reason to be smiling in life. It's like, but either way, I still do think it's kind of cute. Another thing too is like during Pride Month and stuff, I want to draw more like couples and ships and stuff, because it's a month about love, special love, and loving who you please. And so yeah, I think I also mentioned in my previous video that like that's not something that I often do. I really don't draw people interacting together in general. Like I just draw one person and that's it. So I wanted to sort of work on that more, and that is something that I do a couple times throughout the like spreads that I draw. And the reason why, because I don't think I said it earlier because my brain is all over the place, the reason why I ended up doing multiple spreads is because since that footage gets cut from like half of the spread, like half of these 2 pages that I draw, I was like, that's not fair. I feel like they should see more, you know? I'd feel bad if like I do a video of me doing a spread and like half of it isn't even there. So I was like, let me go ahead and do like another spread. So yes, I do 2, well technically that's 4 pages. Yeah, I do 2 spreads or 4 pages of just using these little rainbow pencils, and I think it's quite a fun time. I do end up speeding up the second page quite a lot because I didn't want this video to be super long for once. I want to make more like digestible and like chill videos for you guys to like watch or listen while you draw or do other things. And luckily for me, it also makes the process of editing a lot easier because I don't have to sit here and do like a 45 to 15 minute to an hour long voiceover. I can just sit here pretty and yap for about 20 minutes and call it a day. I would still like to continue doing both, but I'm definitely, like I said, gonna try my best to get more on the shorter side of videos just because I feel like that's a lot easier for me right now, and I can sort of get better at posting on time as well. So yeah, hopefully you don't mind this format of how I'm structuring this video, and yeah, you can let me know too, because I've actually just filmed another video kind of similar to this, working in the same sketchbook, And that being said, it also kind of reminds me, like, whenever I don't know, lately, whenever I go to draw in sketchbooks, I'm kind of like a deer in the headlights where I'm like, wait a second, what do I draw? Like, like, what exactly do I, because I mean, sometimes I have a prompt, like sometimes I'm doing studies or I want to draw like a specific character, but a lot of the times lately it's like I want to draw, I just don't know exactly like what to draw, hence the whole art block that I've been going through. But it's been like, the art block has been in multiple forms. It's just, this happens to just be one of the many forms it takes where I'm like, okay, want draw, but what draw? And so yeah, but that being said, in those moments I just try to think of like, I don't know, I guess like whatever I'm feeling. So for example, since I knew this spread was going to be using these rainbow pencils and I'm kind of hinting at the whole like pride stuff, I was like, well, it'd be cute to like draw people interacting. I also, this character that I'm drawing right now is actually holding, I used my little Haikyuu Nekomuffin as a reference because it's summer and it's hot. It's like burning up, it's awful, and yeah. What a fun source of inspiration. Sometimes that's what I do though. I just take like inspiration from like daily silly things or just like small irrelevant stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna tie this into my sketchbook spread because why not? And it really helps me combat that struggle of not knowing what to draw when I do open my sketchbooks, which that I feel like that especially happened to me recently because I haven't used my sketchbook as much, at least not my main one. I opened, like, I had to yell at myself for a little bit because I was like, dude, you have not touched your main sketchbook in like too long. Like, it's been too long. You haven't done anything with it, and I don't know why. Like, you can't just sit here and draw in like these hidden sketchbooks all the time because you're worried that you're not gonna draw that well. Like, it's fine. This needs to be finished. You need to be working in this. What are you so afraid of? And I was like, okay, you know what? Damn, maybe I had some points. And so I did start drawing in it again, but I was so shy, I guess, approaching it again. I was like, what do I do? But I just kind of forced myself to start drawing, specifically one of my OCs. I was like, well, you know what, that's a good comfort zone to like get in. So I highly recommend that for if you really want to just sort of go for it, you know? There's really no reason to be like as afraid, because what is the worst that could happen? It's your sketchbook, you know? That should be like a place of like a sanctuary to yourself. It should be a place where you feel like you can be comfortable and just kind of draw in the way that you wish. And if you're worried about like not necessarily knowing what to draw or things like that, or how to get yourself started again, I feel like the premise of this video essentially can help a lot on terms of how to combat that, and I will explain that in a second. I just want to clarify that this is indeed where it cuts out. So that's how they turned out, these guys doing like this cute little heart pose. I thought it was so funny too because the pose that I was referencing was like on Pinterest of like these cute girls, and like I think maybe they were doing like a photo booth or something, I don't know, but I just thought it was funny that that's what I referenced, and it's, I don't know, I just, something about that's so wholesome and adorable. So I think they're probably my favorite sketch on the spread. But yeah, after that I was like, all right, let's go into double time, let's speed it up, let's go. And yeah, so you can kind of just see me having fun with the rest of the spread. Again, just kind of drawing things that came to mind at the time. So I guess this person in a cowboy hat with like rave fluffies at the bottom. Yeah, it's kind of, and the yeehaw on the t-shirt because the cowboy hat, that's truly my best work, truly so iconic. Like, I was just having fun, and I feel like that's sort of the nature of working with these pencils. I was pretty amused because like you get different results in each stroke. Each stroke is a different color almost. So, you know, that right away kind of makes it to where you can't be too precious with how you want it to look because you don't know what color you're gonna get. You might go for orange and instead you get blue. You might go for red and you get purple. So it really teaches you to just roll with the flow and sort of lean into the aesthetic that it sets you up for, and the overall look that it creates is really fun. It's just the fact that it looks silly, you know, it kind of reminds me of like crayons. Like, it reminds me of something a little bit more juvenile, and so at that point, again, you just feel like, okay, well, let me just play around, you know, there's no need to make this look like the Mona Lisa, I'm just here to vibe. And so just by playing around, you get something dynamic and bright and colorful, and truly, like, it can't you can't really get a spread like this normally. I mean, if you used colored pencils, you would have to go out of your way to sort of get this look. The fact that you can get it from just one pencil alone makes it all the more exciting and fun. Even whenever I do digital art, you know how you can like alpha lock your line art layer and sort of change the colors if you want? Usually I will keep it to like one color or two colors, or sometimes I'll like change the color to match whatever it's like, whatever the color of what the line art is over is, if that makes sense, like a slightly darker shade. I don't know if y'all understood what I mean by that, but like it's really rare for me to like play with the line art colors and give it more than one, or even whenever I do use one color, it's usually just like a dark blue or like a black. So the fact that these are vibrant and colorful and you just get different things each time you put your pencil down, again, it just makes for like a fun and unique look. And during moments like what I'm having with like this weird art block situation, that's kind of exactly what you need sometimes. So like on that note, I definitely recommend trying out something new if you're feeling a little bit art blocked or uninspired. But even if you're not, like even if you're just in a nice, comfortable art groove, it's a good opportunity for trying new things because like it adds something to the mix to keep things like spicy, keeps things alive. Yes, we have our projects, yes, we have our studies, but every now and then I feel like everybody just needs to play around with something. You got a new medium, you got a new digital brush or asset, a new resource, you want to try a new technique out. Whatever it is, like it really makes a difference because it could just be one thing, and that one thing you're able to create like a whole drawing session out of and sort of get to experience something that you normally wouldn't. And so that ends up broadening your horizons, expanding your skills. You know, it's, if anything, it just gives you like quality of life, because I feel like as an artist or any kind of creator, like you need something to sort of take you out of your comfort zone, even if it's just a little bit, because there's always like that wonder and like that fun in discovering something new and being able to like run with it. It's the same thing with like coming across a new media that you like you probably didn't know that you were gonna love it as much as you do now, but that's the fun of trying out new things. Also, we are getting on to the second spread and we are already zooming through it because I put this at like lightning speed. Hopefully it's not too jarring for you guys, but yeah, I drew like a cute little reference that I found on Pinterest of like these people snuggling, and whenever I was drawing it, I was like, you know what, it'd be cute if I made this like ship art. And so I was like, something about this feels very like Hifudo coded, like Hifumi and Dopo from Hypnosis Microphone. I'm sorry, I have to laugh because I feel like, I don't know, it still feels like such a niche hyperfixation that I get embarrassed when I bring it up, but like, I don't know, it's just in my brain rent-free. And the thing is I really miss it lately because I haven't really kept up with anything, and so I'm just like, maybe that was my moment. I was like, I need to like get this out of my system. So yeah, I drew that, and then I think above I drew like this cat watermelon. Well, I was gonna just draw a watermelon, but then I was like, something about this feels like I need to add a cat face on there, and so I did. And then I found this picture on Pinterest of like this guy holding this cat, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And so I drew that as well, because I don't think I normally draw animals. I feel like I've been thinking more and more of like things to draw in addition to people, because even though I still very much want to draw people and I enjoy character design and stuff, if I want to expand my art skills, but then also just like my capabilities of illustrating, or even like in the future to make like comics and backgrounds, I need to be able to draw things other than people. So yeah, I think it would be good for me to like start drawing other things. Not that I necessarily haven't, I just haven't really done it consistently. So yeah, I really want to keep that. But yeah, the rest of the spread is pretty much just a bunch of more doodles. Oh, actually no, I draw two of my OCs, two of my main OCs actually. The one on the right is named Mira, I love him so much, and the one on the left is named Aura, and I love her so much. Again, I kind of just wanted to like draw characters, like even if they're not interacting, just drawing more than one character, I feel like it really makes a difference in a composition, or just like, I don't know, it really spices up the way a drawing can look. And so I was really having fun with drawing these two, especially since they're both kind of like bi icons. And yeah, I was like, let me just sort of like draw something wild and fun and silly, because again, that's the nature that these colored pencils gave me. It really just made me set loose. If you want some colored pencils like this, by the way, I'm sure you can find them out there somewhere. I got these from the MoMA, but I've seen them like in many different places. They're kind of just like a fun, silly novelty item, but I highly recommend because you can make cute, fun, colorful spreads. Why not? Make it colorful, make it silly. It just gives you another element to play with. The only drawback with using these is at the beginning you probably saw me like hold 3 pencils up and you're probably like, I don't think you needed 3 pencils. Girl, I did. I most certainly did, because every time I went to sharpen them, oh my gosh, they ran out so quick. I don't know, I think the lead is just very fragile or something, because they break and they kind of just like, yeah, they shave down really quickly. But other than that, I'd say it's quite of a fun time to use them. And now I'm kind of just going in at the end, like touching it up, just trying to, again, experimenting and seeing how they might look with other mediums. So I'm just kind of outlining them. I outline them with pens. And at one point, I think I used like ink in a waterbrush. But yeah, and I only do it to this spread because I was like, okay, I saw how it looked, but I don't think I'll use it on the other spread. That's fine. But other than that, that's about it since I'm about to close out the video. So hopefully you enjoyed me doing this silly spread of doodles. There were definitely some that I didn't like as much as others, but I was still glad to like just draw and have fun using these supplies. I hope you guys get to spice up your art with a new element as well. And let me know in the comments if there's anything that you've been wanting to try out lately, or if there's something that you have that you would like me to try out. Also, happy Pride! Happy Juneteenth! Happy summer! Look after yourself and each other, stay informed, be safe out there, and hydrate, because it is very hot outside. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed your time here today, please feel free to leave a like. If you're interested to see more of my content, you can always check out my other videos and subscribe. For reference, if you're new, I am Rhea, or Etheria, and I like making art and art-related content on my channel. I do try to post weekly videos, but if you'd like more timely updates, you can always check out my other social media linked in the description and also at the end of the video. Wow, rap god. Who am I? I'm kidding. Until next time, once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I wish you a nice rest of your day and or week. Take care.